Hello everyone. Welcome. Hopefully everything is okay. Let me know if I'm just gonna move my computer away a little bit because the fan is going real hot today. Okay. Alright, I think we're good. Hello everyone. We are back. We are doing some more stuff here on the Animal Crossing, and I have so many cords everywhere and I don't know where to put my hands. Alright, I'm just gonna put that there. Alright, here we go. How are we all? Let me know if you can hear me, if everything is good. If you give me 1 second, I'm just going to update Twitch because I am having a lot of issues with Twitch at the moment. With Streamlabs not actually doing what they're supposed to do, so I don't know what's happening with that, so I'm going to have to let people... I'll do it via Twitter actually. That's where I should do most of my updates. Hang on. Is having issues connecting with Twitch. Working to get it fixed for the next live stream. I have no idea why it is not. In the meantime, come chill with me on the YouTubes. Yeah, because that's where we are. We are currently on the YouTubes. So I should have gotten everything ready, but I am hideously late for things today. On the YouTubes. Here we go, and done. Right, that's where we're at. Hello everyone, and it's just me today. There is no mod today as Brittany is having a very well-deserved holiday. She works really hard to support my channel and support these streams, but she's taking some well-deserved time off. So it's just me today, and I apologize. I might be a bit croaky or out of breath today. I'm having some issues right now, health-wise, with my heart. It is not happy today. Long story short, I got COVID right at the beginning of the pandemic. I got long COVID, and I sustained damage to my heart as a result. And now some days, particularly if I have not been looking after myself the best, and particularly if I've been losing sleep, which I have been lately, it really begins to play up. So this is the day it chose to play up. So if I suddenly go silent, it's probably because I'm coughing, because it constantly feels like someone is pushing on my chest and all my air is coming out. So I'm feeling health-wise a bit rough. But we are here and we are going to chill and play some Animal Crossing. Have I done much since my last stream? Absolutely not. I have been... I'll explain what I've been doing, but this is sort of what we worked on last week. We expanded this entrance. We added this little avenue here with these beautiful cedar trees, which I love. We continued the road up this way and around. We've built this lovely roundabout here. And this area we actually did fill. I'll refill that back in. I used one of the designs which I made last week. Sorry about that. So one of the designs I did last week for a video, so I'm gonna have to put that back in. Which I think, yeah. So I got last video I went through how to build all of these designs here, which 2 of them I'm gonna have to put back. So I might do that right now. And yeah, I think today we are going to get into potentially doing some residence yards. Not potentially, we are. Because, yeah, we've got one. Lolly has moved in, but I think that we can probably find some space to put in some more residence yards, and I think that would be really fun. So this was like our cookie stall that we built last week. That's alright, Diana. Thank you for joining. It's kind of my own fault though. So I've worked out kind of what leads to, like, you can't always predict when it's going to happen, like when it's going to play out, but there are certain things that contribute to the likelihood of it, and one of the things which I found has contributed to my heart playing up is if I don't get consistent and proper sleep at certain times. So I struggle with delayed sleep phase syndrome to begin with. So what delayed sleep phase syndrome just means is that I have a propensity, or my circadian rhythm is essentially different in that I am more than likely able to stay up late. It is very easy for me to, how do I put it? It's like I develop time blindness in the evening, and as a result, where's my lawn chair? There it is. As a result, I kind of lose time at night is the best way to describe it. And that's my own fault. Thank you. Yeah, so I lose time at night and I end up staying up way too late. And particularly if I'm really invested in something, if I'm like doing a project, or if I'm kind of like in the middle of a subject that I'm really interested in, I will lose time. And I can easily end up finding that I will stay up till 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, and it's not hard for me to do that. So I have to be very cognizant of the fact that I do that, and I have to be really strict with myself. But this last week, particularly this last week, and I'll explain why, I haven't. And it's been in part because I've become obsessed with a certain subject. Not Animal Crossing related, but I have been swept up in the madness that has been this latest Amber Heard Johnny Depp trial, and it is just, you know, I started watching it probably week 1. I started watching commentary on it, but like the last probably 3 weeks, I essentially, like, my life has just been absorbed by it. So as a result, I have, yeah, as I said, like, I just lost time to it because they all start court at about 10:50, and my brain wakes up at about 10, so or 9. So it's not a good combination to start getting into really interesting things for me that late at night. So that, as I said, is on me, and I have to be better about it. But also, luckily, this is like the last week of the trial, so that will make things a lot easier to get back into a rhythm. I wish you could put items on a better angle. Oh well. So yeah, that is entirely my fault. So yeah, I gotta be way better at that than I currently am. But it's been interesting, I will say. As someone who is not, I have been a jury before, actually, in a case. Then don't stay up too late, Diana. Don't do what I did. Be responsible. Don't be like me. I have not been a responsible adult. It's kind of been interesting watching this trial, though, because I've been in the position of being a juror before. Not for a civil case, not for something like this, not at all. I think our case ran for just a couple of weeks, or the case I was in as a juror, it was just a couple of weeks, and it was very interesting to be a part of that process. Is it something I would do again? Probably not. Not the type of case that I was involved in. it was, and I won't mention it because it's probably not very YouTube safe. I mean, you're in court, probably not a lot is. But it was interesting from a process point of view. I found that really interesting. And I found it really interesting to be part of essentially a group of people whose job it was to determine another person's fate, essentially. And so when I'm listening to this and I'm, listening to the commentary on, how particularly lawyers, when they talk about juries and stuff like that, it's really interesting hearing their comments because I've been in a very similar position, albeit in a different system, much different court, but it's been interesting to listen to it. And I think one commentator that I've been watching, of course, Emily D. Baker, I've been watching her since she was about 50,000 subs. So I've been, it's been really great to watch her, very inspiring actually to watch her sort of rise. And she deserves it. She does so much good work. And I remember her saying something, and I think it was her saying that she really trusts juries because a lot of them do take it seriously. And I will say, the jury that I was a part of, I was very proud to be part of it because everyone took it very seriously. Because it was a serious thing. Like, it was, it was a serious case, and it was a serious decision that we had to make. And we wanted to make sure we got the right one. And we didn't have nearly, I think, I stayed up late because they were delivering jury instructions, and I was really curious as to the jury instructions, having been a juror on a jury and having to follow instructions very similarly. And so I wanted to know because regardless of the evidence and everything like that, what is going to determine the outcome of this trial is what rules the jurors are going to be given to make that determination. And I can say that from experience, they are very important because for us, that's what we used when we were making our deliberations. Because jurors obviously are lay people like you and me, and they're not about to let someone who has an extensive understanding of the law on the jury. No way would any lawyer do that in their good sense. They would get they would try to avoid that at all costs. So the instructions that they have to give the jury really outline to what how can they apply the law to their deliberation. So essentially, what are they going to consider? For us, our jury instructions consisted of the charges that were being brought forward to. They were the instructions that the jury had. Like, for us, they were the charges being brought forward against this particular person, and they were. I think I'm going to move a house. So I'm going to think, hang on, give me 2 seconds. I'm thinking 2 things at once. I think I will move Raymond's house. I really like the idea of, yeah, okay, we're going to move Raymond's house. I should have done it yesterday, but I didn't. I was out visiting a good friend of mine, and that was really nice. Anyway, hang on, let me take a breath. I've been talking. Whew, okay. Oxygen's a problem today. Where was I? Yeah, so our instructions were the charges that we had to decide to what extent did those charges apply, and not really to what extent. It was whether or not they were if the evidence that had been presented to us was enough to charge them with essentially enough to charge them. So we only had 3 charges to consider. They have like a whole book of instructions to consider. So that's going to take them a long time to go through. We only had 3, and it took us about, how long did it take us? Maybe 2. We went in the afternoon, so they rested the case, and we went straight into deliberations with our instructions, and we probably deliberated for about 2 days, maybe 3. no, it was a full afternoon, and then we came to a decision probably mid-afternoon. Yeah, I think that's correct. Yeah, we came to a decision about mid-afternoon. And I have to say, that guy, that person, probably got the best jury they probably could have hoped for, because we really did take into consideration all the evidence that had been presented to us. And we went through all the transcripts, we went through all the video and audio that we had. We went through, yeah, this is jury duty. This was my experience at jury duty, because I've been wrapped up in watching court cases, stayed up late, now have heart issues today because I have screwed up my sleep, which is my own fault. So yes, we really took into consideration all the evidence, all the charges, making sure that, you know, we saw, because there was a particular point where, like, the defense, there was a particular afternoon where it felt like the defense was kind of playing around with words a little bit. They were concentrating on something to make a particular witness's statement seem inconsistent. And we kind of caught on that something was a bit weird there. We weren't able to talk too much about the case, but I was the foreperson, and so as the case went on, because it went on for 2 weeks, we began taking notes about what evidence we wanted to see, or what transcripts we wanted to see when we went back to our deliberations. And so a number of us wanted to see the transcripts for that afternoon, because we felt that there was an element of, for lack of a better word, it was like there was an element of like something wasn't, how do I put it? It was like we were like the lawyer was giving us a bit of a runaround in terms of the way that they were using language and the way that they were interrogating certain witnesses. It was kind of like we weren't 100% sure that we felt like they were confusing the matter. And for us, we wanted to be sure that we got things correct. So, you know, we had taken note of that particular instance where it felt weird, and we went back and we reviewed the evidence, and, you know, we did come to the conclusion that there actually was corroborating evidence and testimony around the issue that was confusing, and as a result, that cleared it up for us, and that, as I said, like, that person got the best jury they could have, because we did take it seriously and we went over everything. And I mean, like, this is why I said, like, jury instructions are really important, because there was a particular point where so when we first got in there, the first thing we did was take a vote on each charge and where we landed on each charge. And I think it came down to about like 60-40, and that meant that we then went through and we had a look at the questions that we had about certain issues, and we really deliberated on what each charge meant as well, and how our decision was going to apply to that charge. And the reason why that's important is that so we were given 3 charges, and if we found that person guilty on all of the 3 counts, so all of the 3 charges that had been brought against them, that would then go on to affect their sentencing. So we had to be sure that when we were charging someone with a particular offense, that was correct, because that would affect later courses of action in the trial, like throughout the process. So we wanted to make sure we got it right. And, you know, it did mean we did come to a unanimous decision, obviously. And we really took our time to get that right. And that was for a 2-week trial where it was very kind of clear what the story was and what had happened. So, and it was only 3 charges. It was only like 3 instructions that we had. That was a simple trial. And it still took us 2 days to deliberate because we wanted to get it right. So when you've got something as complicated as the Johnny Depp Amber Heard case, which is a lot more convoluted and the story is murky a little bit in parts, and you're not 100% sure, what you're really wanting to look at if you want to determine how it might go, like who might be getting what, if anybody's getting anything, the point to consider is what instructions are the jury going to get. So I might be able to watch it tonight. It makes me so sad because as a juror, this is the thing I want to know the most out of you know, because I think tonight is like the closing statements, and this is the thing I want to know the most, is what instructions are they going to get, because this will affect how they can come to a verdict. And this will show to what extent, essentially what verdict they can come to. And yeah, so if you want to know the best indication of how this case is going to go, or what decisions can be made if you're following it, and you might not because it could be completely boring to you. I don't know why I nerded out over this. Probably my experience as a juror kind of led to that. I just fall down some really weird rabbit holes. It's also kind of been fascinating for me anyway to see it in a wider cultural context with regards to the internet, and how the internet has gone on to really affect and play quite a big role in how this court case has been perceived, how this court case has even how the rebuttal side of the argument was really affected by the extent to which people had seen it and had been contacted about it in regards to it because of social media and because of the internet. What's up? You want to come under the blanket? Yeah, you want to come under the blanket, don't you? Yeah. Yes, Floof is with me today. Floof is happy. Yeah, so, where was I? I lost my train of thought. Thanks for listening to me ramble. This has like been on my mind. This has been my obsession for the past, I don't know, 5 to 6 weeks. I get really into topics. Yes, the internet. So yesterday, the last 2 days, the Johnny Depp team has been on rebuttal, which means that this is, hello baby, do you want to stay warm and cuddly in my blanket? Is that what you want to do? No, you don't know what you want to do. Hey? Alright, well I'll leave you there then. Yes, I know. I got the blanket so you could snuggle. You want to snuggle? No? Okay. You do you, babe. Yes. So the last few days have been rebuttal witnesses for both the Heard and Depp teams, and it's been interesting watching it because there have been some witnesses that have come forward, particularly for the Depp team, I think only for the Depp team, that were contacted or had heard about it or noticed some discrepancies as a result of the trial being televised and communicated via the internet. So, that's what's really interesting to me, is the extent to which the internet has really made an impact on how the trial has gone and what witnesses have come forth. That's a really interesting thing to consider. And it's a really interesting thing to consider with regards to, what are you doing? My cat's lodged himself under the couch. It's been a really interesting to consider with regards to other cases, because this really, what they call opens the door for other cases and how social media and the internet might play a part. I never got to... Didn't they say have a recording of her saying nobody would believe him? Yes. Now, this is what... So, there's been a number of leaks with regards to this whole case. And one of those recordings that came out, which started the hashtag Justice for Johnny on Twitter, one of those recordings was a recording of Amber Heard saying, and I hope that I get this right, and I'm sorry if I don't, but essentially saying, tell the world, Johnny, tell the world, I, Johnny Depp, a man, am a victim of domestic abuse. Tell the world, Johnny, and see if a jury or judge will believe you. I'm not 100% sure on that last bit where that went in more order. I'm pretty sure that's fairly close to what she said, but go listen to the recording for a more accurate representation of that. But yes, it did come about, at least the Justice for Johnny hashtag on Twitter, and that movement came about because there was some audio leaked. I think they argued that it was Johnny Depp's lawyer at the time, Adam Waldman, was the one who had leaked that audio. But essentially, yes, she did claim that was one of the audios that it came out, saying that no one was going to believe him because he was a man. And yeah, that was very, I have had family members in very similar situations to what Johnny Depp has been in, and I think that's also probably why it's a very special interest case for me as well, because it was something that my family had to go through, and that was very hard for all of us, very heartbreaking actually, in many ways, but I won't get into that. But so that's also part of it, because you know, it doesn't matter what gender you are, you can still be a victim of domestic abuse, and it's awful. Do I still believe that a lot of women have not been believed as a result of it? Yes, of course I do. I don't think that should diminish the experiences of women and the experiences that they've had and the struggles that they've had bringing that to light. I really don't. And I think that, you know, part of that is also bringing to light that, you know, abuse takes all forms, or, you know, many forms, and that it should be seriously taken, seriously. Anyway, we're going to build some more of Raymond's house, but I do have some more questions here. I never got to be on a jury for a case. I was summoned for a court this past April to potentially be chosen, but the 30 or 40 of us were sent home since the defendant came to an agreement with the court before we had to report for the day. That was after 3 Zoom court sessions prior to the in-person session. Yeah, I have only been called to jury once, and that one time was the one time I got selected for a court case. And I was the 4th person as well, and I was in my mid-20s. So I also felt that there was quite a I felt a great deal of responsibility for ensuring that we made the right decision, and not just that every juror had the ability to be heard and to feel like they had the ability to make an informed decision, and that we were very, there was no combativeness in the jury room. There was no belittling or diminishing of people's opinions or experiences, and everybody wanted the same thing. We all wanted to make the right decision. Do I recommend doing jury duty though? It depends. I found it to be a really rewarding experience. I'm a nerdy person. I like to know how things work. So being in a jury was really interesting for me. Also, I was unemployed at the time and it was a bit of money. So I also kind of liked it for that. I had all the time in the world to geek out over a case. Kind of wish I didn't have this one though. This one, I think if I was called up to do this type of case again, I would probably go up to the bench and be like, look, I've done one of these trials before. This was the verdict, and I don't think I want to do this again. I'm not sure how. I don't know to what extent my bias might come in. Also because it was a kind of a horrible trial to be part of with what happened. And I don't really want to do that again. It was fun to know the process. The type of case we had, no thank you. I don't want to do that again. So there is that. So it also depends on what trial you have. So, you know, and I think, oh my God, I'm sitting on all these pillows and my butt is sore. Hello, MicroSim. Hello. Oh, did I say hello to you, Best Sims Mom? I'm not sure I did. Hello, Best Sims Mom. I think I saw you on Reddit actually recently. I think I saw one of your posts on Reddit. I don't remember what you were doing, but I think I saw one. And I just want to say I saw that, I think. I wanted to comment and be like, hi, it's me from the YouTube channel, but I didn't feel that was appropriate, but I did see you. Would I recommend doing jury duty? I think to a certain extent, yes. I think it's important to understand how the courts work, how the legal system works, how arguments are formed. It is better to be informed than not informed. That's my personal opinion. Do what you like with that. But I think that it's a very valuable experience in many respects. At least that was my experience of it. I was lucky to be part of a very good. Hello, yes, I love to use your stuff as inspiration. Okay, I thought I saw you. I'm glad I was right. So, yes, so I think that, you know, if you can be part of that, it's to a certain extent kind of interesting. But if it's sort of, if you find out what sort of court case you're part of and you don't feel that you could be a part of that, don't. You are more than welcome to go up and be like, I can't do this. And I know from even my personal experience now, particularly watching this trial, and recognizing that I do have a certain bias when it comes to cases like that. For me, I would probably have to say to a judge, you know, this is my personal experience with these sort of things, and I can't, I don't think I can be biased in this. I don't think I could be impartial to this, and so I would probably have to try and I would probably try and excuse myself from that particular type of trial because of that. And you have to be aware of your biases as well. If you think that you could do it, go ahead. But I think it's also important to be aware of what biases you may have. And that's okay. Like, we have all our different experiences, and we all have different... they ask a ton of questions if you can be impartial or not. Yeah, they did. And I think for me, in this case, I would be like, no, I can't promise that because of my experience. And I would feel as a citizen, it is my duty also to allow both sides to have the best opportunity to present their case and feel like they can present their case to an impartial jury. And I don't think in this particular instance with, say, the Amber Heard and Johnny Depp situation, I don't trust that I would be able to be impartial when it comes to this sort of thing. Having said that, though, where I stand with it at the moment, I have gone through a lot of it, and I mean hours upon hours of it, multiple times. I watch a lot of things on 2x speed. I prefer it at that pace. If it's slow, it really kind of, as you can tell, like, I talk pretty fast to begin with, so you can imagine how I like it when people talk fast, because that's how fast my brain moves. So I prefer to listen to things at that speed, and so as a result I get through a lot of content really quickly. So that means I'm able to go over it twice as much. Yay, fun. And so I've gone over it quite a bit. Good morning. It's currently 5 a.m. where I am. Charlie, oh my gosh, what are you doing up that early? Oh my god. Although having said that though, I can stay up till 5 a.m, but you shouldn't do that. No, don't do that. Not a good idea. So, where am I at with it currently? It's 11 p.m. Yes, so I'm probably going to stream till about like say 3-ish, 3:30-ish. Then I have to pop off and do some work. For those who don't know, I also do drawing and comic work, and I have an episode of one of our comics coming out this weekend, and it needs to get finished, and I have to go somewhere this afternoon, so I'm kind of like running on like little to no time. But I didn't want to miss out on the stream with you guys, because this is one of my favorite times of the week. So I'm kind of liking this little setup here. I kind of want to see how it goes with the trees, so I'm just going to quickly, don't mind me, I'm just going to travel to the future just so I can make sure that those trees grew, because trees around Animal Crossing can be really iffy. So that's going to a new month. Okay. So where do I think it's currently at now? I think Amber Heard's team tried a Hail Mary yesterday, which did not work. She is not... I'm from London and I work as a teaching assistant. Oh. Do you enjoy being a teaching assistant? I know a couple of people who've been a teaching assistant and they found it either very rewarding or very frustrating. And I'm curious as to how that works over in London. So, yeah, let me know. But yeah, Amber Heard. I don't think that her... Like, I'm talking about all of this because it's all been in my brain and I just need to kind of get it out in some ways. I don't think... She's not very good on the stand for a couple of reasons. She's very... Ooh, it's winter. Oh, it's snowing. She has a tendency to be quite combative, and she has a tendency to fight on a lot of questions, particularly in cross-examination, which, you know, you can get a bit feisty because you have your own experiences and you're being challenged on them, and that does put people into defensive state. So there's a certain extent I can understand it, but she fights on every point. I have to sleep. Glad I could catch your stream. Keep up the good work. No problem, Sim. I am going to be, as you know, it's going to be up on YouTube, so you can watch that in the replay if you would like. But otherwise, yes, please get some sleep. Sleep's important. Don't do what I did and screw up your sleep by watching court cases in America. Don't do that. So yes, go get some sleep. My thoughts and ramblings will be here. So I love walking through my island and just seeing things spawn into view. Okay, so that tree did not grow because it was too close. Frustrating. She's quite a combative witness. She is, as I said, I get it. You're getting challenged on the stand. That's not a nice thing to do, thing to have done. It can be very confronting. I understand that. But it's like on everything. She fights on every point. And that's not a good look. You can agree. And the thing is that she'll be presented with... This is the difficult thing. She'll be presented with evidence. Quite clear evidence. Like, it's a picture. It's very clear what's in that picture. But she will fight and essentially say, well, that picture's not correct, or that picture is a lie, or that picture isn't showing what you say it's showing when it is. It very much is. So that's where it gets a little bit difficult, because you're like, honey, why are you fighting over every single point when there is no need to do that? I mean, I really dislike how you can't just... Anyway, I'm going to move on from that. So that's an issue. That is an issue. And that's going to not endear you. And it's not to say that, Johnny Depp didn't get sassy. He did. He got a little bit spicy in points, but he didn't fight on every point. So I think you have to be reasonable in those circumstances. And I don't think that she was necessarily doing herself any favors. Another issue is, and I think this did not go very well, her experts weren't great. They didn't have the same level of polish and professionalism that the experts on Johnny Depp's team did, that the experts on Johnny Depp's team had. There was a level of, again, more combativeness from the witnesses. The witnesses got very up in arms about things which didn't really need to be up in arms about. You're there to provide an opinion. You're there to provide the reasons for your opinion. And you have to be sure that the reasons that you are providing that opinion aren't just because you're taking a paycheck. And some of them did have that feeling that they were just there to take a paycheck, and that is not a good look. So that's also one of the issues as well. And the inferences that you can take from that, unfortunately, are because Amber Heard and her team are the ones deciding what witnesses can get up and testify, expert or otherwise. It's not a good look when you have witnesses that have a degree of unprofessionalism when they're there to argue your case. You really want to be sure that you're getting the best that you can get. Not just in terms of, presenting some sort of argument, but also, just in their demeanor as well. So there's a lot there that didn't really work in their favor in terms of the type of witnesses that they brought forward. Thirdly, I'm introducing numbers now. I don't think that the jury really appreciated the way that she relayed her story. I, for one, felt... I think you can really, particularly if you're an empathetic person, you can really kind of tell, I feel, when something is not quite right. And that's kind of how I felt through it. I felt like things weren't quite right, and there was a lot of inconsistencies in the story. And I understand, to a certain extent, that trauma does affect memory. But I found, personally, having, personally myself, having to process some trauma myself, the traumatic moments actually kind of, the details of it really crystallize. You remember how it felt. You remember what was said quite clearly. You remember the actions that happened, and particularly if you've been experiencing flashbacks with it, which is quite difficult. Again, personal experience with that, as I'm sure a lot of people have. You do kind of you remember a lot of that moment. Like, I can still recall, like, what the lighting was like, what the mood was like, who was around me, where they were sitting, what the building looked like, where everything was orientated, where everybody was orientated in the space, what people were saying, what I was thinking. Everything is very sharp and crystallized in my personal experience of this event, which, you know, on the surface wouldn't be considered very traumatic, but for me it was. And you remember a lot about that moment. So when, you know, Johnny Depp is testifying about what happened to him, and he's got quite clear recollections of the event and the steps in each part of the event, it feels more believable because of that. And I think that was, you know, that's very consistent with how a lot of people experience it. That was consistent with my experiences. And it was consistent with a lot of the commentators who, you know, through their work and other means have also, I mean, you'd be hard pressed to not go through life and experience some level of trauma, I think, in some way or another. But I get the sense that, yeah, I don't think that she did herself any favors there. But there, I think for me, one of the more damning things, and I think this is something that the jury is really going to take away from this, based on the notes that have come out from commentators like Runkle from the Bailey and Lauren Lumber and the DUI guy. They're all from the LawTube community, and they've all been in the court recording all of this. Their kind of like their impressions from the gallery and from the what's happening with, in particular, the jurors and what they're taking down and what they're noting. I think, gotta go to bed. Loving your island so far. I have to watch the rest of the stream so I can hear more about your thoughts on the Depp trial. Cool. Yes, it'll be here on YouTube. You are more than welcome to come back on the replay crew, and as they call them on the interwebs, I'll find a different name for that because I'm pretty sure there's probably trademark somewhere. And yes, I will continue my rant, and I am sorry if it bores everyone. But thank you so much for joining, and I really appreciate you being here. And sleep well. Where are my thoughts? What are they doing? So this is the thing that kind of got me. So there was a particular witness of Amber Heard's that testified. This is kind of what got me going, ooh, that is not good. There was a particular witness who testified, and this was on Amber Heard's side too. So this was supposed to be like good for her, you know. This is supposed to be like a witness that was on her side, and she testified to the fact that Amber Heard struggled. Like she would get in, she would cry when they would go into their acting sessions, but she would struggle to cry when she was acting. Now, what we saw on that stand when she was going through very traumatic experiences, which were difficult to listen to, and if they're true, that's horrific. If they're true, but though she was acting, she was hyperventilating, she was getting really worked up, but she wasn't crying, and not even, you know how sometimes when you're trying to hold back tears, but you can feel them welling up. Makes it difficult to speak, and then you see like someone who's really trying to hold back tears, and they're doing a very good job of it, but there's a telltale, there's a tell, right? Now this tell is something which I was listening to, what was it, Cinema Therapy, and they were talking about Big Hero 6 and grief, and I cried. I wasn't a big fan of Big Hero 6, but I have, as a result of last year, there was a lot of grief that I had to go through, and now anyone, if any sort of subject mentions grief, I'm just like, just start crying, because it's just like, whoa, that's a lot. So yeah, anyway, what they were talking about in that video, there was a particular point where Hero is holding back tears. I don't quite remember in what respects, but that's the context. So they were zooming in on his face, and you can see his eyes welling up, and then he cries. Oh my gosh! Hi, Brittany. I hope you're having a wonderful break, and thank you for popping in. I have been ranting about court cases, so I hope you're having a wonderful holiday. Thanks for popping in. So I was watching that video, and they made a really good point that I don't like that bench. That's not the point they're making, but they made a really interesting point that when you're trying to show that a character is crying or holding back tears, and animating that, because the human face is one of the hardest things to animate, that because we have a lot of like micro expressions and stuff, but they realized that a way to show emotion without absolute tears pouring from the face is that when we start to well up, our eyes become a little bit watery and glassy, but what happens is that there's this like a shiny line just above your waterline of your eyelid, your bottom lid, and it becomes quite shiny there. And so when you're animating, you put emphasis on the shininess of the bottom of the eyelid, because it shows that there's tears welling up, and when people start to see the tears welling up, that's when it activates that empathy, and then they begin to cry. And because you're connecting with that emotion of trying to hold emotion back, and then that starts everything off. So that was a really good point that they made, and that was something that was for me in my mind when I was watching this go down, and I was listening to her testimony, and I was sitting there and I was cocking my head a little bit going, okay. And one of those was because I realized on my third rewatch, because it really bugged me. I can't tell you how much this really bugged me. When something kind of gets stuck in my head and I'm like, why am I not connecting here? I start to really begin to look at it. Maybe that's not a good thing, but when something doesn't make sense to me, that's when I really start looking. And one of the things which I realized was because I wasn't feeling the emotion that she was attempting to elicit, in part because that element of it, and you can kind of see this when Johnny Depp testifies, actually, which is interesting, because I remember going back and watching it yesterday, and I was watching his testimony of how this trial affected him, and I saw this. I did see this bit part. When she's testifying about the horrible things that she claims has happened to her, you don't see that. You don't see that little... you don't see that water pooling or beginning to well at the bottom of her eyes. You can... And it doesn't... When that happens, it makes it more challenging to really understand her position, which is sad, because, I want to understand where she's coming from, and I just can't connect, and that's that's not a good thing. I'm a very empathetic person. It's not hard to make me connect with what you're saying. I cried at the drop of a hat, and absolutely nothing. And that's not a good thing when you are trying to convince a jury that this happened. And it's something that I actually want to do a few videos on. I might have to investigate the topic more, I think, but do a little bit more research. Anyway, this is how Raymond's yard's looking. I quite like it. I think it looks kind of cute. Let me know what you think. And sorry for the rant. I will hopefully finish soon. Thanks for sticking with me while I read. It's really just been on my mind. And so you're sitting there, and yeah, I just think that also the fact that she recovers very quickly afterwards, and you see it, she gets really worked up, really worked up, and then it's like she's able to then turn that off, and that's not a good thing. There seems to be a bit of a disconnection there between feelings, which again makes me start thinking, okay, I'm going to start looking more, and if I'm feeling like this, right, and I'm not anyone special, I don't have any like super special gifts or anything, but they are the sort of things that people in the jury, and this is from my experience of being on a jury, the jury is very quick to figure out when something isn't right, when something isn't adding up, when they feel like something is, when they feel like they kind of, the wool is being pulled over their eyes, they can tell. That's purely from my experience of being on a jury. And yeah, so that is not a good thing. Where do I see this? I think that depending on jury instructions, this is highly dependent on jury instructions, I think it's quite possible that, I feel like this needs a code underneath it. I like the setup, but I feel like it just needs, yeah, I think it needs a code underneath it. Undo all my work, but it's alright, I've worked out the items, so now I know what I'm going to do with the rest of it. So I think, depending on jury instructions and to what extent they can consider certain things, and like there are a lot of aspects to this case I didn't even touch on, because I just don't know to what extent you want to hear it, so I don't want to bore you, particularly because you're here for Chill Time and Animal Crossing, and I promise I'll finish. So I think a couple of things, depending on jury instructions and what they can and can't consider, I think that it's very likely now that I think there's a good possibility that Johnny Depp is actually going to walk away with something. A lot of the commentators are betting on 7 million. 7 million was the amount that Amber Heard was supposed to have received in, well no, she did receive in divorce settlements, which she claimed that she had donated. This is very important, that she donated to charity, but she has not. Most of it came from boyfriends. Both, yeah. So she claims to have donated the entirety of her divorce settlement. She had a divorce settlement for her claims are she had, okay, so her claims are she received 7 million. She claimed she was going to donate it. Well, she claimed she had donated it, but she hadn't. And then she said she got sued, so she wasn't able to pay the full amount. She got the entirety of the divorce settlement 13 months before she was sued, so she had plenty of time to do that. She had plenty of time to donate the money to charity. She said that she would, and she did not. That is a very important distinction. As a result, I have a feeling, based on, what people are, essentially what the commentators are saying, and I tend to agree, based on what I've known of how these things go, my very limited experience, in my completely unprofessional opinion, uneducated opinion, that I think I tend to agree with what they're saying, that they believe that the jurors will award him pretty much the divorce settlement back, that he will get probably 7 million, and they will consider everybody whole, and that will be the extent of it. If Johnny Depp gets even a cent, that is a win for him. In part because he has been vindicated in the eye of the public. I think he's already, you know, based on what has been happening in social media, I think that he already has very much been vindicated, at least in the court of public opinion, which is why I think that he did this. I'm pretty sure he went on to state that anyway. And yes, so I think that that's probably what's going to happen. I tend to agree with what the commentators are saying, based on my own limited experience with being on a jury myself. So yeah, that's sort of where I'm at with it. I apologize for the giant rant. Thank you so much for listening. I really appreciate that. I'm sorry if I lost some of you. I get it. You probably don't want to hear about it. Because it's not been a nice court case. It has been kind of nasty at points. And there's been a lot of things that people probably didn't want to come out had come out. And it's been difficult to listen to. But I hope that listening to me rant about it wasn't too bad. But thank you so much for just letting me do that. Anyway, I'm going to concentrate more on getting this done. As well, I want to get 2 yards done, and yes, that's where I'm at. Although I'm happy to answer any questions people might have about it, because I've spent 6 weeks absolutely poring over everything I can pore over, and yes, so if you have any things that you want clarified or anything like that, I'll do my best to answer, but because I like nerding out. But I'm also happy to take Animal Crossing questions too, so yeah. Or if you just want to lurk, you are more than welcome to just lurk. Because I am a lurker myself. Hi, I was searching Animal Crossing live streams and found this. Oh no, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. This is the day I went on a rant. I'm really sorry. Well, I hope that you enjoy it. I'm here for a little bit longer. I'm going to try and do 2 live streams. Not 2 live streams, 2 residence yards. So I'm working on Raymond's at the moment. I'm just playing around with some ideas. And yeah, this is where we're at. So I hope that you're having a wonderful day, and thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to jump off this store, not this stream yet. So I think I might actually, no, because I want to, no, okay. Sorry, I had to do some thinking there. There we go. Oh, you I rant a lot when I get like obsessed with a subject, and I have a friend. Hang on one sec. Okay, sorry, I had the microphone turned off. I had to cough, so I'm fine. It's all good. I was saying at the top of the stream, I have screwed up my sleep, hence why the rant, because I was explaining my thoughts on all the things that was causing me no sleep, and I have a bit of a heart condition which does not like it when I don't get sleep. Alright, so that's Raymond's yard. So we've got this over here. Now I could slip in a house over here, which we might do actually. I think we might do that. I think we might grab another house. Who's next on the house? On the house block. Oh no, I'm gonna... Hey, I'm finally able to be in a stream. Hi, Kristen. So sorry, I got distracted for like 2 seconds. I'm really glad. I always see you comment and comment just before the stream starts too. So I'm really glad you're able to be here too. I'm just gonna do, I think, who's this one? Coco. Yes, I think Coco would be another lovely addition. So let's get Coco in to her spot, and then we will do her yard as well. Fun, fun. I'm really glad you're able to join us. Yes, I'm having, this is really nice. This is a nice chill stream for me. But yeah, like I get obsessed over topics, and I've been trying to kind of, like for a while I would get really, how do I put it? Yay, login bonus. Alright, so for instance, a lot of the reason why I started, Jeanette suggested you. Yes, I remember you mentioning that, and I was wondering, I'm not sure I know Jeanette, so are you able to link me Jeanette's channel or Instagram, because I want to check them out and potentially say thank you. So I started a YouTube channel because, and this is still like I guess an obsession for me, an island home. So I did have the right menu option. So I get obsessed with topics, and I feel like I go through it, and I'm a verbal processor, which means that I like to talk to sort my own head. It's kind of like I'm able to hear the thoughts, and because I have to think through how to explain my thoughts, it helps consolidate them a little bit and kind of narrow them down and clarify them a little bit. So that's why verbal processing is really good for me. So when I'm obsessed with something, and I mean really obsessed with something, that is all I think about. That is all I want to do. That is all I want to obsess over. And, you know, for a long while, I would find that really frustrating, because it was like, it would just take over my brain, and that's all I would want to do for, like, that was it. Like, that was going to be my life for the next, like, 2 weeks or 3 weeks. And it would happen with things like video games. It happened with, like, Persona. I think, like, with Persona, I ended up losing, like, when I started playing Persona 5, I lost, like, a good, like, 2 weeks of my life to playing that game. Because I was just so into it until I finished it. Once I finished it, I was able to be, like, put it down and be like, okay, cool. And now I can play it without necessarily getting that level of obsession. But when I'm really obsessed with something, like, I just lose time, I lose, you know, I just get too obsessed with it, and it's really hard for me to put it down. That's why I started an Animal Crossing YouTube channel, because I just wanted to talk about Animal Crossing, and I was like, there's no one around to talk about it with me at all. So I, you know, and share designs and everything. So I started this channel, which is how we're all here today. And thank you so much. So yeah, I still get a bit frustrated with that, with my brain a little bit. But I started to realize it's actually a bit of a good thing, because it means that when I do absorb something, that's how it kind of feels like I'm a sponge, and I'm just dragging all the information out. It's kind of a good thing, because it means that I have the ability to go over things multiple times, over and over again, reviewing things all the time, different perspectives, different opinions, and I started to realize that may be something that I need to really embrace. And I love research. I love, that's why I think I was, reasonably okay at school, because I liked the act of finding out new things and just absorbing it and researching it. And I loved study. I loved geeking out over a subject, as you can tell. So I think like I just need to find a space where maybe it is another channel, I don't know, but where I just pour all my thoughts out on a subject, hopefully in a coherent manner, and yeah, just kind of go nuts with that. I don't know. I will have to consider it. Oh, it's nice and sunny today. It's sunny. It was snowing on my island yesterday. Now it's all sunny. Oh, my tree's growing. So Coco's house is in place. We have that there. Awesome. Okay, cool. So I don't think we'll do, say, as big a yard as what we did for Raymond. Because we're not filling in the same spots. So I think I might... I'm going to have to figure out what to do here. I think I might do like a laneway. So let's get this started anyway. Let's get some building in. Start construction. But yes, I appreciate you listening to my rants, for now anyway. It does mean a lot to me. I would often get a bit ranty about things, if I was really into a topic, and I would feel really embarrassed when like I kind of came out of my rant and then like people would be looking at me and they'd be like, oh god, sorry. I did it again, didn't I? But some people like it, so I don't know. It's you know, it's interesting kind of getting to the age that I'm at now, and you kind of end up at a bit of a crossroads because you're like, what am I doing with my life, and do I want to keep doing this? So that's kind of where I'm at. So I'm trying to figure out things as well. So it's nice to come here and just be with all of you and just enjoy some games as well. And as I said, like I really appreciate you being here, and also like just all the support that you've given this channel as well. I can't tell you how much that means to me. It just, yeah, it really, yeah, it's great. I was watching streams all day, so this last week I unsubscribed from every creator streamer. Oh no. Oh, well, thank you so much for joining me on my stream. I hope that you enjoy it. I get that though. I quite like, it depends on what the stream is, and depends on who the person is as well. It's kind of, for me, a bit of a balance. I like streamers who I don't like really hyped up ones. That kind of stresses me out a little bit. I had to take a real step back. Yeah, I feel you. I understand that a lot. But as I said, thank you so much for joining this one, and I really hope that you enjoy it and you have a chill time. And if you feel that you need to take a step back and unsubscribe, you're more than welcome as well. I am perfectly fine with that. Like, I'm not going to be super upset. I definitely appreciate people streaming Animal Crossing. None of my friends play anymore, and I'm definitely obsessed. I feel you. I feel like I wasn't really much of an Animal Crossing person to begin with, in part because I play Pocket Camp, and then I realized it was a total money sink for me, and I had to take a step back because I was like, I have a problem. It was really getting to be a problem. So I had to take a step back, and so after that I was like, didn't get into Animal Crossing, and then New Horizons came out, and all my friends were like, oh my god, this is amazing, you should get it, it's totally your game. And I was like, okay. So I got New Horizons, in part because we were in lockdown and there was nothing else to do, and I became obsessed. Yes, definitely became obsessed, and I just had to play all the time, and just I became obsessed as well. So I totally feel you, and I'm really glad that you are here with me today. I got rid of Discord. Yes, I also kind of understand that as well. I go through periods where I feel, I almost feel like I need to take a break from, so I go through periods where like I'm really active on like social media, and then suddenly I'll disappear, and I'll disappear for like a few days, and then I'll reappear, and I do that quite a bit. I get, if I start to disappear, it's, my friends usually know it's because I've found a rabbit hole to fall down. They're pretty understanding about it. And, you know, they'll contact me and be like, hey, you still alive? Did you sleep? Did you eat today? And I'll be like, oh, thank you for reminding me. I forgot human bodily functions was something I had to maintain. So I just started Pocket Camp, and I definitely spent too much money on leave tickets. Yes, it is very easy. It is very, very easy. And I have to be mindful when it comes to money, because it's very easy for me to lose track of things. And I found that, you know, I think there was a certain occasion where I got, I think it was like a tax refund or something like that. And I realized that I had put aside probably way too much money just to spend on Pocket Camp. And I realized, no, I don't think I actually want to do that. So that was when I uninstalled it, because I realized that I was caught in that loop, and I didn't want to do that anymore. And I tend to avoid freemium games because of that. It does not work well for my brain, and it's not something I really want to get into personally. But I have seen also some very beautiful builds from Pocket Camp, and I've seen some of the items, and I'm like, I want that in my game. So I totally also understand why people play it. I played it and I enjoyed it, but the money part of it, yeah, that's not good for me. And I just don't like, I thought, you know, it's probably easier just not to expose myself. Totally understand that. Yes, so it's afternoon for you, right? Yes, it is. It is currently 10 to 3, roughly. And yes, I will probably stream to about 3:30. Then I will have to go and finish some work before I have to head off and travel. But I'm looking forward to it, because I'm traveling to see family, and I love my family, and I love seeing them. And I'm really, really excited, because it's going to be a really nice weekend. And yeah, I'm really super jazzed to get out and go see them. I think it will be absolutely lovely. So yeah, but it does mean I will have to leave you lovely people. But I will be back. Again, next week actually, I will be doing more streams for you. I am going to continue streaming my island and my progress on it, and I like sharing that process with you. I am currently just picking out items that I think will work well. I'm concentrating predominantly on color. And so I tend to do two things when I'm doing designs. I concentrate on either what colors work together. I try to maintain colors and textures, and then I look at also what items kind of can be combined together to create almost like a story. And what I mean by a story is like when you look at it, can you see them using that yard in a particular way? Or can you see that space being used in a particular way? So I've actually got an example of that, and I will show you. Jeanette is from Australia, so that is how I know. Okay, cool. Well, say a big thank you to them, and I really appreciate them recommending my channel. So yeah, say a big thank you to them. Okay, so you see here, we've got like an orange house. Like a wood house. So I'm using different types of oranges and reds and those pops of green to really kind of elevate the design. Over here, I'll go over here, pop, 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 pop. Again, I stuck with kind of like more reddish, earthy tones. It matches Raymond's house. The green, kind of bluey, is reflected in like the rattan basket and in the flowers that I've used. So the flower beds that have been customized, and I've also brought that in with the reds with the type of anthurium plant that I've used, the planter box, the red of the cacao plant, which is also reflected in the door. So this is what I mean by like picking some key colors and kind of matching that. Now when it comes to making a story, I'll show you what I mean by that over here. So this one is my here we go, it's like my noodle bar. This was the last design video that I posted on my channel, which got a lot of love, and I don't understand from where, but I want to thank everyone who watched it. I'm really glad that you guys liked it. I loved it. I love this design, and I want to kind of slip it in somewhere. But this here is like a woodland, kind of like a woodland noodle shop. And the idea is that you could put this in a forest or nearly like a campsite, and so you can imagine when someone walking through the island and then they see this, and it's like they've found a secret noodle bar in the middle of like the mysterious bamboo forest, which I think I might put on my island now. Now that I say it out loud. So this is what I mean by creating a story. You can see how this could be used on your island, what sort of effect it's going to give, and how someone might perceive it when they stumble upon it. Same with, say, this area here. This one I imagine to be like a campsite, that makeshift campsite that someone has put up. You've got simple garden chairs, you've got like a simple picture, but the thing that kind of brings it all together is the fact that this is a tent that is that someone has quickly pitched, and you've also got like just log stakes, a very simple clothesline here, so it doesn't it looks like someone has just wrapped up, you could easily wrap up these two like the two sticks with the line and then shove it in the back of a wagon, and then you've got the wagon there, so it actually looks like a makeshift campsite. So this is what I mean by creating a story with items, because you can see how those items got there and you can see what they would be used for. So yeah, if you want to find out how to build those items as well as all the codes that I used, I think I missed one of the codes in the actual screen of the video, but it is in the description. So if you don't see that code on the screen, it is in the description. It should be all there. And yeah, so that's how I go about sort of designing areas. I either concentrate on items that are in similar color ranges or texture ranges, or I focus on creating one that has a story. And yeah, if you want to check that out, I will actually put it in, I will link it to you. I'm talking about it, but I will just link it to you because that would be the smart thing to do. I am lost without my mod. She does all of this for me. Brittany, come back. Nah, it's fine. Here we go. So this one was posted very recently. Here you go. So that video actually has, that I've just posted in the stream, that video has all of the codes and items that I used for that build, as well as a couple of other builds that I've used elsewhere on my island. So yeah, that's that, if you want to check that out. And I hope that helps. And I hope that you like it. Okay, so I'm just going to put a street lamp there. You are more than welcome. Oh, my butt. My butt's getting sore. So I think we might put something here. I think I might get like a... Alright, let me get a table out. So I think I might use... Do I want to use a stone one, or do I want to use something else? 'Tis the question. I'm being indecisive today. I think... Right, I think I'll use that. I will put... I think I'll put like a mug on that. I think I know the mug that I want actually. I want this one. I want the Paradise Planning mug. I do like the Paradise Planning items. I think they're really cute, and I need more because I keep using them everywhere, and now I'm running out. And I think next to that I'm going to put... I've already got the Moroccan footstool, so I think I might do some layering items. If you really want to fill in a spot and you've got limited space, layering items is amazing. Like that is something that I learnt through all the practice of doing this, and I will show you what I mean in a second. so that I can give you a better idea. Okay, so let's have a look. So here I'm going to put down my log stool. I'm going to put some Casablanca lilies on top of that. And then here, this is what I mean by layering items. So I know I've got a wooden box. Okay, so I've got a wooden box here. Now this wooden box is a little bit higher, which means that when we put an item on top, it actually appears taller than it might if it was just sitting by itself on the ground. And what I actually think, I don't think a link came through in the chat. I don't know if I saw, unless you sent it to me on Instagram. Let me just check my Instagram. I don't think I... Okay, I don't think I got a link through, so yeah, you might need to send it again. If it's not working though, you can DM me on Instagram. My Instagram is the link to my Instagram is in the description below, so you can DM me the link there and I can put it in the chat that way if it's not coming through. But yeah, I don't think I got any link through, unfortunately. I'm sorry. Okay, so I think I'm going to swap the Casablanca lilies out for the mug. Yes, that's better. Okay, so now I'm going to put the Casablanca lilies on top of this. Say that 5 times. Okay, so you can see that it actually looks quite tall. It's almost like not quite on par with the cacao tree, but it's on par enough that it's okay. So now I'm going to get, I do have a Moroccan footstool, so I might get like a squatter item to put, like as in like a chunkier item, I guess, to put next to it. So something that's kind of like the rattan towel basket or something like that would be really good. But I'm not going to use that because I've already used that for Raymond, and I don't think everybody needs a rattan basket. I might put some food. Food could be good. I'll see what I've got. Picnic basket. Oh, picnic basket might be good. We've got some pictures. We've got boxes. Yeah, I think I might go with the picnic basket. I think that will work the best. Okay, so then what I'm going to do here is that I'm going to get the Moroccan footstool, or footrest, my mistake, and I'm going to push it right up against here, and then I'm going to put the picnic basket on top. So in just 2 squares we've already created quite an interesting arrangement just by using layering and just by working with height. So you can see here, originally I was going to put the mug here, but because of the way that the basket is, and it's actually a little bit high, I think it would actually work better here with the height of the cacao plant, and because the cacao plant is quite thin, so we won't miss too much information by putting the picnic basket here, I don't think. Yeah, see, that works a little bit better, and then we can put the mug here because we can see more of it reflect. Oh no, that's not what I meant to do. Candles, mug, here we go. Right, and then we're just going to turn it around. There we go. Oh, I wonder if we can have the handle show the other way. Hang on. Okay. Yeah, that'll do. Sent in. Good night. I hope that you have a wonderful sleep. Thank you so much for the DM. I did get that, so I will post that into the chat. Okay, so I will do that. Hang on. How do I share stuff? Alright. Forward, remove. Where's just share? No, I'll share one of her posts. I just want the link. Copy link. Then copy it. Okay, cool. Can't believe it. I'm in my 30s and I can't tech. This is embarrassing. Okay. I'm just going to link. So this is the person that has recommended my channel to peeps, and I just want to share that and say a big thank you. So that has now been shared. Thank you so much for that, Christian. I really appreciate that. Skip survey. I appreciate you sending me that. Okay, cool. Right, so this is kind of like Coco's area now, and yeah, that's how I put it together. Thank you so much. So yes, I have been, I think I might leave it there. We have got 2 yards done, which is really cool. Oh, Floofy. So yeah, we've got Coco's yard done, and we also got Raymond's yard done, which is really cool. We got 2 of those done in quite a quick succession. Yes, and I will be here next week, same time, same place, same day, same island, doing the same project. I will be right here with you. So we put this back into my island after I pulled it apart for a video that I did, that I linked just above in the chat. It is also on my channel, so you can check that out if you would like. We also put this one back because I also ripped this one apart. We have so far done on the island, we have done Lolly's yard. So this is Lolly's yard. We've done this avenue here, which I really like. We've got the pop-up pottery store at the bottom there. We have got a house on the side just for decoration, absolutely no purpose. Because sometimes we just like to do things for decoration's sake. We have this awesome little bicycle rank over here at the beginning of the island. We also have a beautiful plaza here that goes onto the beach, which I will decorate probably last. We have got resident services. This all comes all out to the entrance, which we will probably build on next week. I think that's next week's project. Then we're coming up and around here. We have Lolly's house, Coco's house, with a nice little seating, some seating areas and a picnic thing there for her. We go into the roundabout, and this is where we come out to Raymond's house as well. So we will probably be filling in the, I think next week we'll be doing more on the entrance and filling out on the left hand side here. I think that will be our next project, and I think that would be a fun project to do. Everything is coming together, and I really appreciate having you here on my island today and listening to me rant about all the things that were on my brain today. I really appreciate that, and I hope that you enjoyed it. Again, this is going to be on the replay, so anyone who's been watching the replay, thank you. I hope it was enjoyable. Let me know what you thought of the designs below. I will probably be here again on the channel with yet another video. I've yet to decide on the designs, but that's okay. I will work that out. So I hope that you will join me for the next video, and thank you for all the love that you gave for the last video. I really appreciate it, and for anyone who's been in the channel and who is new, thank you. I really appreciate it. You guys are wonderful, and I also want to give a quick shout out to my patrons, because my patrons also do support this channel. And I've got a Discord for patrons only, so I do want to give a big thanks to so I want to give a big thanks to Becca Crossing, Brittany, Becca Simi, Jackie Grove, and Dawn Slade. Thank you so much for your support, as always, in all of these videos and on my live streams, and all of you lovely people who have been here with me today. So I hope that you have a wonderful week, and that you stay safe, and that you stay healthy. Get sleep. Don't do what I did this week. That was not smart. And I will see you in the next video and or live stream. I'll be here next week. Anyway, bye.